Hey guys, welcome to another session of FFBE Global. Today we're going to do the unit intro quest Sieghard. So if I didn't mention this on another video, apparently, the name is really bad. Sieghard is really, I like Sieghard better. So again, I think I mentioned this, but in the Japanese, the transliteration is Sieghard. And so Sieghard was probably like the English equivalents, but I don't know why they made it hard instead of Hart. Sieghard sounds like it's a German name, but Sieghard doesn't really sound like a German name. Doesn't sound like a name. It's weird. Here are the missions, and obviously it's not hard to do because it's a unit intro quest, but you get 100 lapis for free right there. Use a limit burst, you get a rare summon ticket, use super wink, and then dangerous rose. So let's check this out. So right before this, let's go with Badzilla here. Badzilla, let's feature you, bro. Because yeah, and I'm gonna go with this team, whatever. Hey Chino Exo, man, welcome to stream. Martin says Sieg the Rock Hard. Whoa, man, that sounds wrong on so many levels. I know you quoted The Rock there, but man, I don't know. But I mean, it makes sense. The pun makes sense. So, all right, we might have to run this a couple times. So, I mean, I don't know. Even at this point, as I'm making this video, I'm not 100% sure if I want to pull for Sieghard. I'm gonna call him Sieghard still. It's really hard for me to get my tongue to say Sieghard. But Sieghard here is really good. I mean, he's very he has pretty much everything you need in a tank. Obviously you can always compare him to other tanks and say that, well, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have Entrust compared to Mercenary Ramza. But I would say this for every single unit in FFBE, you have a different kit in it. So sometimes you'll find a situation where one tank is better than the other. So recently, I've been using Merc Ramza a lot, and just because Merc Ramza is able to have full status ailment protection, has really good elemental protection, and he can wear robes, so it's very, very flexible for a tank. Now Sieghard is still pretty good as well, because he can apparently wear clothes. So he can't wear robes like Ramza, but he can wear clothes, and daggers, swords, staves, so that's really good. Axes, hammers, and whips as well. So he can fit a lot of roles if you want him to be I don't know, someone to accomplish, let's say the elemental missions. I usually run Seabreeze Dark Fiend as STMR. That would be really good on him, because then I don't have to run someone else with a whip, right? He can have that, and he'll be able to do that, and he can break. So he has these two, Block Charm and Mind Charm, 60% defense and Spirit Break separate. And I love this, the full break charm is awesome, because he has a full break in one skill, obviously, and has a chance of charming, even though it's a low percent. But it's a 50% all break, which is just incredible to have just on this tank. It's really good. The only problem, I would say, I have with Sieghard is that he has only had 2-turn provoke. So I'm gorgeous here, even though it's a 40% damage mitigation. That's that's up there. That's Demon Rain level. That's White Knight Noel, almost White Knight Noel level provoke. It's only 2 turns, and after that he actually has to swap into a AoE cover, so it's kind of hard to use him, or harder to use him as a full unit in his rotations if you're running, let's say, a team comp where you need a magic cover tank and a provoke tank in that same battle. Now arguably you can say that, well, Jagan, all I have to do is just wait 2 turns, I can re-provoke it, and I would say I agree, but it's just something that I wish that he had. If he had a 3-turn provoke, by far I would give him all credit to be the best tank ever, just the best tank. Otherwise, currently the reason why I'm not pulling is because I do have Demon Rain, and I have Mercenary Ramza. Now, Sieghard obviously is I would say a physical tank, but you can build him with high spirit, because he has passives where equip Light Shield, for example. He has spirit passives, and his TMR also gives him spirit and defense. So in a way, you can set him up where he can do both physical covering and magic as well, so a magic provoke tank. But he also has a magic cover locked to a CD skill. Now, it wouldn't be a perfect magic tank, but let's just say like Sieghard here would be perfect for my recent run with Leviathan 3-star. So Leviathan 3-star, the way I did it was that I used Mercenary Ramza as a physical cover tank. I sealed the magic aspect from Leviathan, and when I broke him into Threshold, he does an AoE, just a single attack, Leviathan, single attack AoE magic skill, which on that turn I swapped my Mercenary Ramza's cover to his CD skill magic cover. That could work very well for Sieghard as well, but like I said, like having that is nice to have, but you also need it's very niche. You would have to really run into an enemy where you'd be like physical, and until like a certain turn or a certain threshold, then he wills you with magic, and then therefore Sieghard should be able to use that. Now he does have for one turn, Sexy Smile and Glorious Guard. For one turn, he can reduce 90% damage. So 90% damage mitigation, either to physical or to magic. So that's really nice to have, especially if you want to cover magic or if he's provoking away magic damage. That is very heavy hitting. Otherwise, I mean, he does have some skills that can chain. Apparently he could chain with Power Driver, he could chain with another skill. His LB, like compared to Wilhelm, is not as good. It at least does damage. It's a 3 hit, so it's not really chainable, but it's a 16.9 times physical damage mod with defense scaling. So obviously the more defense you have, the stronger he is. So let's say if you did build him with Spirit, then he wouldn't be able to do that much damage with his LB. Now you can arguably again say that, well, that's not a big deal, but let's say like you need an LB finish. His damage mod actually does enough damage for him to be a good LB finisher. So like unlike someone like Bosch, where his LB is technically a finisher, it's not that strong, it's not that effective. It has no scaling and the mods are pretty low. So I would say Sieghard's is actually really good. Compared to Wilhelm's max at 7-star as a 54% damage mitigation for the entire team, which is by far the most superior damage mitigation that you can have in game currently. That's quite spammable, especially if you're using Wilhelm and you built him properly. But Sieghard's, other than the damage, he does have a 45% damage mitigation, which still makes him really good because a 45% is near 50%. You're not gonna get that a lot for a full cover there, so it's really good. Yeah, he has an innate earth resistance. I believe he can get up to 100% earth resistance quite easily. And then his STMR, I would say this and Mercenary Ramza's STMR for large shield I think are competitive in a sense. It has a 30% HP, which if you and an 80% earth resist on his STMR, it's a large shield. The 30% HP is nice if you can't cap your HP in another way, and if you don't need that much defense. But otherwise, Mercenary Ramza obviously has a better defense and a spirit. So if you're going full defense and spirit, then Mercenary Ramza's STMR is the way to go. All right, I'm gonna get the missions out of the way. That's my thoughts on it. I mean, other than that, he can charm enemies, but later on in the meta, later on our trials and whatnot, most of the bosses, I think all of the bosses, can't actually even be charmed. So it's kind of a nice to have in the arena. You can do a 50% charm for the entire team, which is good. But then you got like, you know, units like Lilith, Mercenary Ramza, they're like immune to charm. So it's like, yeah, at the same time, it's useful for some team comps. But the charm itself is just kind of nice to have. But it's not a like a. It would be like equivalent if you had like, let's say, stop. Like cast stop on it, and it's like at this point, it's kind of fun in the arena, but if people have immunity to it, it's not that great. I would say charm is really good though, because at least you can stop Ayaka. So if you at least in the arena you really want to, you know, have fun in it, I think the arena meta would be maybe run a Sieghard. I'm saying it. I'm saying Sieghard. Yeah, Sieghard. And a couple Liliths. I think that would be a really annoying team comp. Because of Sieghard's charm, almost all his skills has some sort of charming effect. And then Lilith has charm and has counters. Sieghard has counters too. It's just really annoying. Just everything like that is really cool. One thing to note actually, to compare Sieghard again to Wilhelm. So I think if you have Wilhelm, for sure you don't need to pull hard for Sieghard unless you're pushing that like extra bit of meta. Like I said, I think really what sells it for me, Sieghard's highlights are really his breaks. His breaks, his damage mitigation is good. He's a good and solid tank. Like by all means, he's like one of the best tanks. I think even still on JP as a physical tank, he's still one of the best. But he has innate draw attacks 50%, so same as Wilhelm. So really easy to gear him up with innate, being an innate draw tank for a preemptive strike or something like that. He does have ignore fatal damage with his TMR equipped. So ignore fatal damage, a 50% chance when HP is above 5%. Now there's a thing here on his kit where the same innate the same TMR passive, which you actually need the TMR to get the ignore fatal damage, is that it increases a 200% defensive spirit when the HP is below 1%. I'm not quite sure what below 1% is. Does that mean that he gets the buff after he's re-raised? I'm not quite sure. If you guys know on stream, let me know, or those guys on YouTube if it's not answered here. Anyways, so let's finish it off. Let's finish off his thing. So let's see here. He says use Super Wink and use Dangerous Rose. Okay, Super Wink here, this one. So chance of charming all enemies, chance of temporary guarding all allies with magic damage. Okay. Yeah, so this is the magic cover. So this magic cover is not a perfect one. It's not as good as Mercenary Ram's magic cover, just as comparison. So Mercenary Ram's magic cover, as you know, is going to be a CD skill. And Mercenary Ram's is a 3-turn cooldown and it lasts 3 turns, but Sieghard's only lasts 2 turns. So he won't be a perfect magic cover tank. You always have a turn that's missing. So again, like I said, it could be quite niche there. I'm gonna guard for the rest of the team here. Alright. Okay, 10 damage. Alright, next one is so Super Wink we did, and then Glorious Rose, was it? Dangerous Rose, right? Dangerous Rose. Yeah. Okay. So this one, damage to all enemies. So I might kill him. No, not yet. Okay, so let's reload. Let's just guard. We'll just finish off with the LB, and then we'll call this a stream here. Let's see here. Alright, so let's go with, Beauteous Sanctuary. This one? Yeah. Alright, yeah, so that's 16.5 times. I don't know if Badzilla actually leveled up his LB to the max, but yes, it's supposed to be pretty strong. Hey Midnight Man, welcome to stream, dude. Yeah, so yeah, at this moment I'm still debating whether I'm going to be pulling for him or not. Originally I wasn't planning on it, just because like I said, Demon Rain, I've got Mercenary Ramza, they're doing the job pretty well. Yeah, I think Sieghard actually fills a lot of roles into himself. So you don't really necessarily need to bring a breaker, because he breaks all the stuff that's actually quite important by himself. Yeah, so and innate draw attack, all that is really good. Yeah, Martin keeps telling me don't pull, man. Yeah, I know. When Christmas comes, you know, pulling for Christmas, hopefully we get Sieghard off banner. It would be nice. But even in JP, like originally I wanted Sieghard so bad, I skipped his banner and then I got 2 of him from EX tickets, and I have him 7-star, but then, you know, now I don't even use him because I don't play JP. so anyways, I'm gonna end that there. That's for the unit intro quest and my thoughts on Sieghard, my experience, and whether or not you should be pulling for it. Again, I think if you're new or if you don't have a good physical tank, I would say go for it. He handles like stuff really well. One thing I actually forgot to say during my talk in the mission is that he has as high innate HP defense passives, and I think even spirit. Like, he's higher spirit than Wilhelm, but he has as high HP and defense passives and also base as Wilhelm. So when you're gearing them up, if you gear them with the exact same gears, Sieghard will be better. And also because Sieghard's TMR is in his ability and not locked to the actual TM, like not locked to the shield like Wilhelm, he actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, he actually gets better than Wilhelm, but just ever so slightly. So if you have Wilhelm, I don't think you necessarily need to pull for it, but if you don't have him, I would definitely say try your hand at it. Hopefully you get Sieghard. Anyways, I'm gonna end that there. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.